All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing our AI sector review, looking at Big Bear AI, Guard Force AI, and SoundHound AI. I swapped the order a little bit around. This one had a lot more comments, so I'm bringing it to the front. Guard Force did pretty well. You can tell I don't know the name that well. And then SoundHound, I'm by no offense, I'm not taking it to the back because it's like the worst of the three, right? Just kind of sticking with what it looked like today. Very quickly, look, the last time we talked about this, I very much stressed that this gap, the gap, whoops, sorry, don't click there. The gap from there to there, right, is probably the biggest concern on this stock. And for lack of words, this thing is on the edge looking out, like it's at the Grand Canyon right now looking, right? And that's a pretty scary place to be. So very much concerned here. And it's weird because a couple of the AI sectors are doing well. NASDAQ seems to be doing a little well, but yeah, this one's just in trouble for sure, right? So before we get into the details, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, if you can please like and subscribe, it does very well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here pretending I know everything or I can see what tomorrow looks like, but using the lines to give you my opinions, and if your opinions are better, that would be much appreciated, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So again, the story here is the gap. What makes the story more is the fact that we are now under all the moving averages, all 5. I see a death cross right there, a death cross right there. That's never a good thing, right? And in general, bad things happen under the 8 moving average. You want a stock that has the 2 lines going up, not the 2 lines going down, right? So just this is a really scary place to be. MACD, I don't talk about the number too much, but we have now slipped into the negative. It looks like it's not going down as hard as it was, right? There was definitely a little plateau there, then kind of got a little worse. I can't really tell if it's flattening out or not, but yeah, that doesn't look good, right? It's not like it looks like it's curving up or it looks like it's parallel, right? There's still a bit of a gap right there, right? And clearly volume has not been good at all. Only, and I mean, I can keep going to back here, right? Like it's been rough here for sure. Now I'll flash the NASDAQ just like I did on AI and Palantir. I'm not sure if you watched that one or not, but look, NASDAQ did really poorly last week. So in a lot of ways, I'm kind of excluding last week. However, these last 4 days have been monstrous. I say monstrous with a real big asterisk and like a grain of salt because look, it's been a very scary 4 days, right? Like I think look, personally, I'll tell you, I'm not sure what's about to happen with like our world and our economy, right? From like financial stuff to like political stuff, like things are crazy, and I'm not here to talk about any of that, right? We're just here for lines, but these 4 days should have translated differently than these 4 days. Okay, we at least should. I mean, that was a decent, all right, I guess, day, right? But I mean, then maybe at least go horizontal while the Nasdaq keeps going, right? I think the fact that the Nasdaq crushed it and these just did the complete opposite, that in the back of my head is like why, right? And I don't know if it's because maybe like the earnings were really bad and people didn't like it. I mean, maybe it's literally just this again, it like this thing is when we were here last week, right? I was talking about this Grand Canyon thing. We're now like I don't know. I don't know why these 4 day didn't, but I'm telling you, in my head, that means something. You know what I mean? So at this point, again, I do think we've had confirmation. The end of the day just kept selling. Like there was no little wick, right? Like literally, I think the low of the day and the close of the day exactly were both 164, right? So people could not stop selling this thing, right? And I think tomorrow will be what number? What did this actually? What's your low at? Damn, we're lower than that number too. Yeah, for sure. Listen, this must this must have a big recovery tomorrow. Otherwise, honestly, unless, I mean, I don't see much of a reason that this doesn't come into the 77 realm. At the minimum, way closer to the dollar than we're at now. Yeah, it's a bad weekly, man. We just like completely lost the 20. Maybe like 50% candle will hold. Yeah, I'll draw that because it's also the bottom of this guy. It's roughly 50%. I see this coming to 123. I think that's or sorry, 129. Sorry about that. I think that's a really logical place. Look, I know RSI looks low. I often say 30 is the recovery point. That looks, yeah, that thing was at 16 not that long ago, right? So I gotta even believe it was lower not that long ago. Maybe not. Yeah, I think 16 is probably lowest. But again, I mean, I'm not here to pump fear. I'm not here to scare you, but that don't look good. That don't look good. And yeah, everything's screaming 123, all right? Let's look at the next stock though, because again, Guard Force did well today. All right. And Guard Force is again under the under all 5 moving averages, been well under the 8 moving average. I think the one different, I don't know if we're going to call this support line, the thing that saved it. Let me go to the weekly and see. Oh, dude, that was the all-time low line. Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is a super strong support. Okay, I can see how it did keep falling. I'm actually surprised it came up. You know, I always say red could easily turn to green, green, green. Look, what I'm expecting is like maybe this will come up to the 8 moving average. If at best. But look, again, that's a really nice trade, right? Because it took 66 cents to bring a double-digit day. It wouldn't be bad to do that again, right? Again, are we going to break this 502 line? Because again, this is a strong line. I guess still maybe kind of call it support. I don't think we've gone so low that this has now become a resistance, but we are technically under it. We are technically trying to get back over it. That does make this a resistance, right? But I don't know if it's more of like the swinging door in the like Western saloon or if it is actually a hard line, right? But I know for sure this 8's going to be a hard line. I don't know if it's going to cross it. For sure, I mean, I don't see, but again, if you go from 480 to 750, you're talking about a 50% jump, right? So don't underestimate these reds. I'll be honest, I'm going to set an alert. I'll probably, man, what do you want to set the alert for right now? 481 or 503? So 40 cents is, all right, yeah. I will, so then what's this? This is 7. And then, all right, I'm setting my alert here. Again, look, I have a full-time job. I'm not in front of the computer all the time, right? Like I'm more of a better safe than sorry kind of guy, right? So I set my alert for cracking the 8. Yeah, if we crack the 8, I'd be interested to see if we can like at least wick it to here. Because again, I'm not underestimating the red at all, right? However, I don't think earnings were that good here. I don't think there was much news to justify this, right? I just actually really think instead of going deeper into all-time lows, because again, I believe in the AI hype. I think the AI hype said, you know what, let's keep you a little bit more on this 502 line and let's see what happens with the rest of the AI sector. That's really my opinion here. There's no not a lot of technical, I think there. I would say that's like 70% like opinion, 30% technical, but yeah, I think this line's going to hold because AI is the hype sector. I think otherwise, look, MULN is deep in all-time lows, right? And I think that kind of goes to show that AI is a little better. But again, that right there is opinion one more time. So I can't imagine there's much to look at. It's an ugly ass weekly right here, right? So I think the whole story's on the daily, and it's really about what happens with 502, 8 moving average, and 20 here. So cool. SOUN. Okay, again, this has the exact same comments as Big Bear. Look, I'm going to completely disregard the week 6 to 10 because that was just a bad NASDAQ, all right? No single stock, no single sector. I don't care how hyped it is. Nothing is going to do well in tech if NASDAQ does poorly. No stocks are going to do well if all three NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow Jones, right? Like just know what the majors are. And again, I'm just going to completely disregard this. These 4 days, I guess, are a little more horizontal, not as downtrendy, but you needed to at least get over one of the lines, right? Like, come on. Monstrous 4 days in NASDAQ, you can't get over one moving average. To me, I think that does mean that, like, this is just kind of piggybacking, right? And I don't know how low we are to all-time lows. I think I'm guessing it's close, right? Yeah, it's these two lines. So again, I think it's a little bit of the same comments from Guard Force, right? Like I think it's the same comments from Big Bear. I think AI is the thing. And these three, again, throw this in the comments if I'm wrong, but these three, I never heard of these three until AI started getting a little silly. I for sure knew about AI. I for sure knew about Palantir. I for sure knew a couple other ones that I'm actually not covering because, like, I don't think a lot of people are talking about them that much, in all honesty, right? But I'd never heard of these three. I don't believe there was a lot of real justification to really say, let's 4x this company, right? And I think what's really happening is we're kind of falling back into reality, but we ain't crashing nasty because no one wants to bet against AI. I'm not here saying the hype is lost. I just think it's a combination of let's see what NASDAQ does. Let's see what the good AI stocks do. And yeah, let's see if these little ones can ride the coattails until they can like prove themselves, right? Because I don't think anyone dropped pretty good earnings aside from the bigger players, right? So a little less technical analysis towards those last ones, but I hope you like my thoughts. Otherwise, again, just let me know if you disagree, right? But yeah, these are these. I will be doing these weekly because, again, I'm telling you, I believe in AI. I do think that I think these are going to be here for a quick minute. I think we'll be talking about them. And again, I think we'll move the order of stocks too. I think some smaller ones will eventually become middle to bigger ones. Shit, some bigger ones might even lose and start falling into the middle, right? And then some new smallers out of nowhere are going to start popping up too. So I'm really excited to see what this sector does. But again, I appreciate your time so much. More videos are coming.